Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE No Mercy review for Sunday, September 24th, 2017, from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Well, we're a difference a year makes when it comes to what month No Mercy's on and what brand has the rights to that name. Last year, No Mercy was in October. It was a SmackDown pay-per-view. And this year, it's in September, and Wall had it. At least Wall didn't have to go up against a debate and move the main event first, like what happened last year at No Mercy for SmackDown. SmackDown No Mercy was not that bad. Like, the main event was, and there were some good matches in there. No Mercy tonight was almost the same thing. Couple great matches, main event. Yeah. Well, specifically that third hour, specifically. Like the first half of the show, out of the first 4 matches, 3 out of 4 were good. The second one was like, yeah. That was the only bummer of that first half. Things were going smooth for that first half. But then the third hour happened. As results, we were fearing were going to happen and didn't want to see happen. You see by my subtitle those endings. First, you got the result we were fearing and expecting the most to happen, and we're not accepting of it happening, and unfortunately it happened. We have to embrace it. That this guy's considered the future, whether we like it or not. Plus, a division got buried, and a push got buried, in only one move to finish him. You can tell me that it takes one F-5 to kill off a monster, yet a beast can kick out of 4 power slams? Anyway, does not compute. Even in the 2 matches that lived the hell out of hype to it, okay. The main event was like another short match, and it was almost like the Great Balls of Fire match all over again. Since we placed Joe with Strowman. We could have a WrestleMania 34 match already made, which we were hearing rumors about, and unfortunately about me building it. You're wrong, WWE. And also, one guy for Cruiserweight title. Anyway, deducting a few points for that last hour. Get this pay-per-view about... I'll still give it a 7. I've been giving out pay-per-view 6.5 lately. I'm going to want a 7. Just because of the 3 great matches in the first half. But the third hour was like, yeah. Went down after the women's title match. Let's get down to it, though. Pre-show match, which was only made 2 days before the pay-per-view. That's how much WWE cares about pre-show matches. It was Elias taking on Apollo Crews from Titus Worldwide. Man, has the stock gone down on Titus Worldwide already? The fire's been diminished, especially after, Kyokozawa had that Cruiserweight title win for a week before SummerSlam. And after that, it's been diminished. The fire's died down, and at least Paul got a win on Raw on Monday, beating up Killer Hawkins. And trying not to lose for the 115th time, which he did. So, Elias came out singing a little song. I like the place where, like, saying LA is full of He was about to say shit, and then Apollo's music hits. Fun little song. That's the only good thing about Elias being like, I like Elias' character. It's working better on the main roster than in NXT, as I mentioned before. Okay, a little matchup. Elias looked good early. But then Apollo's strength and speed. I like Apollo. I still feel he was pushed too soon to main roster. He should have stayed in NXT a little bit longer than he should have. He got him main roster last year. He's been lost in the shuffle since. We thought Titus Woodward would help him. But if it ain't helping Tozawa, how in the hell is it going to help Apollo? Despite the best intentions of Titus Worldwide, as he would say. Titus was there watching Apollo despite his kip up and big moves. He would eventually drift away to the finisher of Elias in the 1-2-3 victory for Elias. Interesting, he's still dumping the Samson. But okay, little match, 2.5 to start off the evening. Okay, little opener for pre-show. Speaking of good opener, we have opening match of our main pay-per-view for the Intercontinental Championship as The Miz would take on Jason Jordan. Maybe you're trying to push Jason Jordan as a babyface. Like trying to push Roman Reigns as a babyface. And trying to make the certified G a cruiserweight champion. Trying to make Jason Jordan a babyface. WWE, it's not working. We're not fucking buying it. No, we're not fucking buying it. We're not fucking buying it anymore. Despite good potentials, he looked good in his matches against Cena and Roman. A natural buzz. But then tonight, no reaction from LA, and it was a pro-Miz crowd. You know, when the crowd starts chanting, "You suck to you," Jason Jordan, in the style of Kurt Angle's son, and you're supposedly Kurt Angle's son, and they're chanting it at you in a non-ironic way, something is wrong here. You know, there was even a Miz is awesome. I thought they were chanting, "This is awesome." Like, the match was great. You know, Miz looked good, and Jordan did have some good spots in there. You know, but one of my favorites was Miz was going for his famous splash in the corner, but he got caught by Jordan, got a suplex out of it. Like, Jordan was a monster. Like I said, the match was exciting. Yes, the Miz Squad got involved. Hey, Maurice is on maternity leave because she's pregnant. For real. There was even a "Who's Your Daddy" chant. Thank you, Enzo, for that one, you little bitch. Anyway, Enzo said that during his Miz TV segment. Trying to be the new Eddie Guerrero? Fail. I'll get to that later. Anywho, despite Jordan's best efforts, he got distracted a bit by the Miztourage. Jordan didn't land on him at one point. He did a big splash on both of them. But then near towards the end, as Jordan put the straps down and did the suplexes, in a very fun opener, he got distracted by Bo. But as ref was taking down Bo, Curtis Axel got on the rope, punched Jordan, walked right into the skull-crushing finale, and 1-2-3 victory for the Miz, retaining his Intercontinental Championship. And adding insult to injury, not only did he have the gall to interview Jordan in front of a crowd that's already not buying his character, he had a bad promo. Almost like the first promo he gave after he became Kurt Angle's son. After he revealed his Angle's son had that shitty-ass promo. And tonight, it was almost like that. Maybe it was because of nerves, because the crowd was booing him. Like, we're not buying it, dude. You know, we're still pissed. They broke up American Alpha. They were taking it out on Creative and Jordan. You know, Jordan looked good in the match, but he undid all that great effort, all that great effort in the match. He undid it with that shitty-ass promo. Trying to get over with the fans, that won't get you over. I just started saying, like, I still disrespect you, Miz. It was like fumbling his words. Maybe it was like unnerved by the promo, by the fans. Maybe that's why I got nervous. But it was a good little opener. They got to do a lot more to make Jordan over. Maybe turn him heel, maybe. Hey, Angle had a thing. Angle was a happy-go-lucky guy. He got booed. And guess what? Kurt Angle became heel and became one of the best WWE superstars of all time. They're going to do the same thing for Jordan. This happy-go-lucky babyface thing ain't getting him over. They got to go what they did with Angle in 1999. They want to really copy Jason Jordan for Kurt Angle. Copy Angle for Jordan. Make him turn heel like Angle. But not steal the 3 eyes, though. That's Angle's. It should never be touched. 3.5 for this one. Good opener for the main card. Now, the only dud of the first half. Finn Balor against Bray Wyatt in a so-called man versus man match, which means Finn Balor would not be fighting as the demon, fighting as himself. And Bray Wyatt would fight as himself as well. Well, he still called himself a god later on, especially to begin the match. Match never officially started yet. Bray made his creepy flashlight entrance. And here comes Balor wearing a sick new color jacket and new color tights as well, kind of like teal tights. They were not the black jacket and tights he normally wears. He got attacked outside the ring by Bray. Braun was outside the ring. And he got Uranagi on the table. And I thought the match was going to be called off at first because the referees came out after the Uranagi with Bray. salvering his attack. And Balor holding onto his ribs. He landed on his ribs from that Uranagi. And I thought the match was over. Or maybe they're going to make the match get delayed to later on in the card. But Bray Wyatt kept saying coward a lot. That's like his key phrase. Kind of like Roman's key phrase in the Cena feud was punk ass bitch. He went to that too many times in the build. And then, despite grasping his wrist, Balor, who still had his jacket on during the attack, took his jacket off and walked in pain to the ring. No sold in it first when the match officially started, but he did sold the ribs again. Both guys, these are a little matchup, but this feud needs to end. They both need to move on to bigger and better things, especially Balor moving on to a possible rematch for the Universal title, even though I don't think he should face off against either Strowman or Lesnar. It's like seeing Daniel Bryan against either one of them. He get fucking killed. Both guys bled a little bit, especially Bray, one in the mouth. He was even salving the blood. They brought on the outside a little more. And even when Bray attacked Balor, he still loses. It's kind of weird. He even pins another one. There was a backwards coup de grace to the back. But then after Bray got back, trying to get some false hope with the sister Abby, goes Finn would turn it into a coup de grace and made Finn dominant and made Bray look like a fool, proving that Wyatt, doesn't matter what he does, he beat him once as normal thing before SummerSlam. And it as normal thing, even after he attacked him, he still can't win. Like, we like Bray's character, but his booking drives us nuts sometimes. You know? It's like when he became WWE champion earlier this year. It's like, yeah, he's going to be champion, but then he loses at WrestleMania to Randy Orton in a bad match. At least it was the main event. Like it was last year. No Mercy main event was Wyatt Orton. It should have been Miz and Dolph Ziggler. At least Ziggler was more over than he was now in this stupid character thing. What's the payoff? What's the end game? Anywho, 2.5. There was one funny moment in this match, I need to mention, that when Balor was going for a move on the top and then Bray was doing the spider walk, the frozen look on Finn was priceless. So, Balor wins. Let's hope they both move on. And then Bray moves on to another feud. He'll probably lose. Before we get to our next match, probably the best match of the night. Probably the two best matches of the night. I want to chastise somebody for a minute. Michael Cole made 2 botches on commentating. He may have made more, but I counted them. During the Bray Finn Balor match, he mentioned the fact that Finn Balor at SummerSlam last year won the Universal title. And he said that SummerSlam was held in the Staples Center. Wrong! Staples Center did held SummerSlam, but it didn't held it last year. It was in Brooklyn last year, Michael Cole. And another botch he made. They were promoting TLC, the next Raw pay-per-view. Asuka will be debuting at TLC. We knew she was debuting. There was rumors she was going to debut around TLC. And now she'll be debuting at TLC on October 22nd or 23rd. 22nd. In Minneapolis, Minnesota. They mentioned great TLC moments, including when Sheamus defeated John Cena at TLC 2010. Wrong again, Cole! At least they acknowledged it. He did apologize for it later, but they were treating him properly. The trolls, like me, were probably treating him. Cena literally buried Wade Barrett on the mountain of chairs in TLC 2010. Sheamus beat Cena in 2009 TLC. So, Mr. Cole, he's supposed to be the voice of the WWE, even though we think JR is. You know what happens when you're the supposed voice and make some botches? You know what happens? Cole! You just made the list! Had to chastise you for that, Cole. So now on to the 2 best matches of the night. Before we get to that as well, I'm sorry I didn't mention this as well. I wasn't the only one. There was a network blackout during the Bray Balor match. It was a quick. It was only maybe like a second, but like fact out, I lost my network for a minute. But I looked on Twitter, it happened to everybody else. It was like a quick little blackout during the Balor Wyatt match. So now on to the two best matches of the night. First, for the World Tag Team titles, it's The Bar. They're not officially named that yet, but they have a shirt that says it and trunks that say it. Sheamus and Cesaro challenging the new champs, Ambrose and Rollins. It's kind of weird that all the champions, with the exception of Bliss and Lesnar, came out first. And this was a fun tag team match. Probably almost as good or even better than the match at SummerSlam. It was very hard-hitting, very exciting, great spots in this match. But it was the dominance of Sheamus and Cesaro. Great double teaming last match between the challengers. But this time, the former champions this time, Sheamus and Cesaro, did the double teaming, not Ambrose and Rollins. There were some great spots, including when Cesaro did the swing on Dean Ambrose, swung him into the steel steps, and became the isolation game. Quick teaming out, and man, there was so many double team finishes from Sheamus and Cesaro. There were some good ones. But a big turning point as well, besides the swing against the steps, in one of the nastiest spots of the evening, was when Cesaro got swung onto the post from Ambrose. He got swung into the post. His teeth fell out. His two front teeth fell out. You saw that crack later on, and he was bleeding from the mouth the entire rest of the match. Hey, I think it's karma for Cesaro knocking out the teeth of Matt Hardy during the tag team title match earlier this year. So, kind of bad karma for you. So then, Rollins gonna hot tag, and doing his big moves, the blockbuster, all that stuff. And then, like I said, the double teams. Man, there was like so many near falls in this match. So much exciting. My favorite double team from Sheamus and Cesaro was when they did like the Sheamus did like the white noise and the Ambrose, and then Rollins was rolled up by Cesaro like some sort of suplex, but he got powerbomb on top of his partner. That was a great. And they were frustrated. Like Sheamus and Cesaro did everything. They did like every major double teaming moves, the uppercut and suplex, and they were just frustrated. They couldn't keep the champions down. Like, everything they did with these double teams, the champions would not stay down. It was a very exciting, grueling match, and very hard-hitting, especially in Cesaro's case, with his teeth falling out in the match. So as part of the challenge's best efforts to get back the titles, especially with the double teaming, there was a bit of miscommunication. As Rollins and Ambrose were making the rally, Sheamus and Cesaro had one last hope. Cesaro's on the apron, which is Sheamus with the broke kick to Ambrose, but Rollins dunked it, and Cesaro got broke kicked. That eventually set up the double team finish from Ambrose and Rollins, the knee thing, and then the dirty deeds, and the 1-2-3 victory for the tag team champs, retaining the belt. A very hard-hitting, exciting match. I'll give this one 4.2. Best match of the night. For sure, in comparison to the others. Now, the second best match of the night. A little sloppy, but it was still a fun match. The Fatal 5-Way for the Raw Women's title. It was originally set to be one-on-one. Bliss against Sasha. After Sasha once again lost for a fourth straight title defense. She can't defend the title for shit every time she wins it. Maybe it's because of a bad attitude. Just fans this year lately. For a bad attitude. Even Shaw made fun of Sasha's attitude on her new book with her dad. Glad Rick's getting better. Salute to Ninja Boy. It was stemming from Bliss retaining the title the week after SummerSlam. So it was one-on-one at first, then became a fatal 4-way when Nia Jax and Emma won a tag team match. And then Bayley returned last week, made a fatal 5-way. You had two girls from California in the match, and it was in the state of California. Nia Jax from San Diego, in San Jose, the home of Bayley. Of course, San Jose just hosted a Bellator card on Saturday. Nia got the biggest cheers besides Bliss. Like, Bliss and Nia got the biggest pops. And this was a great women's match. There was sloppy places in there, but for what it was a fun women's match. Better than the women's match at SummerSlam for the World title. Nia looked like a beast in this match. There was some great spots involving her. She was the biggest woman, so she was talking a lot. Like, they had like the triple drop kick spot from Monday night we used. But at one point, Nia double Samoan dropped Sasha and Bliss. Or was it Emma and Bliss? I forgot who she double suplex. Double Samoan dropped. It was Bliss and Banks getting a double Samoan drop. And then Emma got some good spots in here. Like, I think all the women got a chance to shine. Like, Nia looked good early on. Sasha got some good spots in. Bayley did okay. You know, there's still some minimal boost for her. You know, she just returned. You know, Bookie's not been the best, as you know, in main roster. So, but then, like, Nia was dominant, and she even tried to suplex Emma on the floor. Oh, gosh, she would have killed her. But Nia took a big bump. She was on the rope. On the outside, you had Bayley and Emma on the outside after Bayley got on top of Nia at one point, tried to go for a sleeper. Got knocked out. And Emma was already knocked out by Bliss. So, Emma and Bayley were on the outside trying to powerbomb Nia off the apron. But then Bliss and Sasha aligned for like a minute and drop kicked Nia, causing her to be powerbombed. And bam! She took a nasty bump on that powerbomb. Man, she landed hard. There were some short-lived alliances in the match. We did see the best friendship between Nia and Bliss go down again. And even Emma and Bliss had some alliances till, of course, it was open the title. Bliss had some big moves. And shockingly, got the victory. After the powerbomb, Bliss was set up at one point for the Banks statement with Banks. And then Bayley broke it up. Maybe sensing the heel turn from Sasha, finally. Because Bayley and Sasha would pin Bliss and the other would break it up. And then Bayley got nailed with a sudden DDT from Bliss and the 1-2-3 victory from Bliss after Nia Jax tried to come back in with a shoulder block and got nailed against the post. And that's when Bayley ate the pin. At least Bayley ate the pin. It wasn't Emma, thank God. Or Nia for that point. Now, there was a little bit of rumor that Emma or Nia was going to win. So they can drop the belt to Asuka next month when Asuka debuts at TLC, as I mentioned. But I'm actually happy Bliss retained. Because I didn't want Emma to win the title after all this little internet Twitter thing getting her over, only to lose it in a month to Asuka, who's already legitimately injured Emma in the past at NXT. So, I'm actually happy they didn't have a title change tonight, especially with Asuka coming in. You know, I don't want Emma's push to be only short-lived. So, as long as Bliss or Emma or Nia became champion, I was happy. So, 3.5 for this one. That's 3.5 for a little sloppiness. That's crisp, but it was still a fun women's match. Very interesting outcome with Bliss retaining. Now, this is when the pay-per-view kind of fell off a bit. The last 3 matches. John Cena against Roman Reigns, the dream match. You know, the WrestleMania Combo match. And who would have thought Cena won his first championship at the Staples Center in Los Angeles? And this is when the fans started turning on him after that. You know, he went from being the good rapper heel to being the generic babyface that we know, love to hate. And who would have thought 10 years after seeing if Cena wins, we Wyatt, we would see a sign that says if Cena loses, we Wyatt. My oh my, has the word changed in the last 10 years. Who would have thought we'd see a sign like that? Cena got cheers more than usual. And Roman got ate fucking alive. And the hype was great for this one. And I should add my don't believe the hype shirt. Because the two big matches that had big hype didn't really live up to it. This match, for what it was, for being a one-up match, was a very interesting match with a good little psychology story with the old guard, Cena, being beaten down by the young, stronger Roman Reigns. The guy we don't want to see pushed, but is pushed anyway. When goodbye. He did look a little bit heelish in the match, especially with little smirks and little smirks in the match. Beating up Cena a lot. Now, this is how you do it right. Like, you can have, like, one guy eat one move and lose. These guys took multiple finishers. You know, how many FUs did Cena did? Like 4 FUs in this match. He did a regular FU. He did an FU up the middle rope. He did a double FU. You know, 2 FUs in a row. He even tried a FU on the outside through a table, but then got speared through a table by a woman. And woman let it hard on his neck. I'm surprised he didn't break his neck. Man, some moments and big bumps, they don't mix. Nia almost got hurt from the powerbomb bump, and woman almost got hurt on the spear bump through the table on Cena. And the crowd was into it, especially there was a lot of Cena fans. You would have thought, like, we don't want woman to win. It's like walking Cena and comparing it, you know, the promos to walk Cena. It was almost like Cena walk because we wanted the old guy to win, not the new guy to win. Rock did win the first match, Cena won the second. But despite the best efforts from Cena, trying to overcome the powerful woman, woman did about a couple spears. He did a spear through the table. He did do the drive-by. Nailed Cena against the ropes a couple times. It was a little bit of it was more like a fight than a match. And I think it should be like a no DQ match, to be honest with you. You know, add some weapons to it. So, despite Cena looking like he was going to win, the inevitable happened. We were fearing the inevitable, and it happened. Like it or not, he's considered the future. So Reigns would spear Cena, Superman punch him. After he did it a bunch of times, he finally nailed the final blow. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns wins. And then Cena walked out. You know, bowed to people. Thank you, Cena chants. He's not retiring yet. It's his last match for a while. Because he's shooting a Bumblebee movie spin-off with a shitty Transformer series. And that's the reason why this match was pushed up to No Mercy. They were hoping to save it for like Survivor Series. But Cena is not allowed to wrestle while shooting his film to risk injury, according to his producers. So that's why this match was pushed up. For what it was, it didn't Cena to kiss ass and raise woman's hand, like up buzzing the torch. You know. And woman got over Cena clean. You know, he had to get, like, we hate it. We hate the decisions that we make sometimes. We hate the decision that Roman Reigns is considered the guy, as he calls himself. And he's a walking contradiction. Because he said on Twitter, he doesn't live by shitty catchphrases. Look who's talking. One versus all. Believe that. I'm not just a guy. I'm the guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm the guy. You know, contradiction, bitch. So, a 3.0 for this one. I should have lived up the hype a little bit more, but hey, Cena carried the match. Who would fuck me say that? Cena carried the match. But Roman held his own. You know, he had a performance of a lifetime. He took what Cena nailed him. He did what? He took, like I said, 4.5 years from Cena and STF and still came out with the victory. So he took all Cena's punishment, verbally and physically, and got the victory. Love it or hate it, woman's the future. So we don't want him to be, but hey, WWE doesn't want to listen to his fans sometimes. Kind of the NFL still wanting to put politics in sports. We don't want the politics. Anyway, now on to our next affair. Speaking of Reigns, you'll be on this TV tomorrow on Raw. To open up Raw. Guys, I'm going to put out the building. You know, they're building him up for WrestleMania. You know what I mean? There's rumors about him against Lesnar if Lesnar will retain the title. And they're building him up for it. being on these big guys. I'll get to that when we get to the main event. But Hammer called me a cool down match, a cruiserweight title match. Neville against Enzo. Kind of a bad spot for this one. You gotta put it in a spot, and I was thinking it was gonna be earlier, but then I was like, it could be the cool down match in between Cena and Reigns and Strowman Lesnar. And unfortunately, it was a cool down match. Enzo looking like a Beetlejuice whip-off. The little Beetlejuice thing. Halloween, 1 month early. You couldn't say that for TLC. TLC is closing on Halloween. We'll save it for Halloween. The match proves why Enzo should not be in the cruiser division at all. I've been a fan of his mic work, but his mic work can only get him so far. He's not the best wrestler in the world. He's gotten by, but when he's in a division, when in-ring prowess is needed to exceed in here, but they focus more on character than in-ring work. That's why cruiserweights ain't getting over, especially after the night. Enzo gonna cut it. He's gonna cut the cheese. And the match was kind of boring. Fans let him have it. It was like a beatdown match from the get-go, with Neville just pouncing on Enzo, doing the way off the middle rope, but missed. A lot of people on Twitter were fearing that, we've seen this whole Enzo cheating thing, kind of like an Eddie Guerrero whip-off, lying, cheating, stealing gimmick. They got over with Eddie Guerrero and not in Italian like Enzo Amore. Italian character he's playing. So, after Neville's offense, the comeback from Enzo began. He didn't fly a lot. And then, at one point, he took the cruiserweight belt from the timekeeper. He had a plan. He was going to use the belt, but then it was a ruse because he knew the referee was going to take the belt from him. And when the referee was distracted, low blows Neville. 1, 2, 3. Enzo Amore is the new cruiserweight champion. He is now this era's Hornswoggle. When Hornswoggle won the cruiserweight title, he killed that division, and that title never came back until last year's CWC. Can Enzo be the new Hornswoggle? But at least he's a target for hatred. He's supposed to be a face, but guess what? He's a heel by cheating, and people want to hate him because he's over than more guys in the cruiserweight division. This proves that, hey, we don't care if you're a good wrestler. You have a good character to get you over. That's the thing. Your cruiserweight division is supposed to be about great wrestling. And unfortunately, the main roster, you need character to get over. And it's the emphasis of it. That a character who's not a good worker gets over a great worker. Like Cedric Alexander. And I think it's what Dolph Ziggler's trying to do with his new gimmick. Saying that you don't care about real wrestling. You care about gimmicks. You care about entrances. You care about catchphrases. That's what Dolph's trying to do. Give you commentary on the fact that all these great in-ring workers are not getting over. Like Sami Zayn, because they don't have a character. They don't have a shtick. Like Cedric Alexander needs a shtick. Enzo Amore's got a shtick, and he's over. Some people don't like him, but guess what? He's over. He's not a good worker, but he's over with his mic skills. 1.5 for this one. Because it was a shitty match. Bad spot, and Neville and the rest of the cruiserweights will look like a fool tonight. Neville only lost the title once to Akira for a week, and then lost it again in a cheap way to Enzo Amore. Proving that in-ring work won't get you over. Character ain't cheating gets you over in the cruiserweight division. This is a worse burial than Cena, Barry, and Coleman at SummerSlam. But hey, Cena got Nakamura and unfortunately Reigns over. But I think Cena wants to get people over that wants to work and has good attitudes. That's probably what happened to Coleman. And he got AJ Styles over. But then he beat him at SummerSlam at Royal Rumble. So there you go. Now on to our main event for the Universal title. Brock Lesnar defending against Braun Strowman. Looking at the clock, it was like 10:50 when this match started. I was like, uh-oh, here comes another short one. I mentioned this a little bit in the beginning of the video. It was almost like the build and the match for Great Balls of Fire just replaced Joe with Strowman. You know, the challenger looked good in the promos, in the build-up, you know, dominating over Lesnar in the build. And then during the match, the challenger looked great in the match in the early going. Braun Strowman was just feeding on Lesnar, delivering a nasty chokeslam after counting a suplex, and even get a power slam early. But then the eventual Lesnar comeback began with a couple suplexes. But then he tried F-5, and his back gave out. And then Strowman tried for power slams, but he got targeted with the arm. His arm kind of got limp because he got put in a Kimura lock. It's kind of weird. The referee should be fired because Strowman's arm was on the rope a little bit. The referee didn't break it. You know, he let Lesnar keep the hold. Yet, it took Braun Strowman putting his hand on the bottom rope to finally break it up. It's like, you should have broken it up earlier because Braun's hand was kind of on the rope. On the top rope, not the bottom rope like he did. So, it looked like Strowman's hand was on the rope for a longer time. Should have broken up earlier. But the damage was done to the arm of Strowman. He did 2 more power slams. He did 4 overall. But he could not capitalize on the pin because his arm was attacked. That's probably an excuse on if he loses. So then the Suplex City started coming in. You know, they did 6 overall in the evening for Eat, Sleep, Suplex, Repeat, Lesnar. You know, and the match itself was just okay. It was a Lesnar match. You know, Braun looked dominant early. This had a lot of hype to it. And the hype died down, especially after the Strowman comeback from the Lesnar Fury. But then bang, the suplexes from Lesnar. And I mentioned it earlier, and I'll mention it again. 1 F5 following another suplex, another power slam, should I say, from Strowman. 1 F5. 1, 2, 3. Lesnar kicked out of 4 power slams. Yet it only takes 1 F5 to beat the Monster Among Man Braun Strowman. Man, there was rumors that Lesnar was going to retain. We were hoping that wasn't going to happen, and sadly it's happening. Lesnar retained tonight. And Strowman's push has officially died. Hell, some more... Like, I always make fun of Cena and Reigns, Barry people, and their careers never the same. You know, like making fun of, you know, Rusev's career's never been the same after losing to Cena. Same with Damien Sandow. But I think losing to Lesnar is almost as bad as losing to Cena or Reigns. Because look at Samoa Joe. He had a great build against Lesnar, Great Balls of Fire. And then he lost, and he hasn't rebounded since. He's now hurt. May come back soon, but his build, his push, died. And he had a great build, looked great against Lesnar in the build up to the match. And in the match, he looked good, then he lost. Same as Strowman. Looked good in the build, looked good in the early match, and then lost in 1 F5. And hopefully Strowman's push doesn't die like Joe's did after losing to Lesnar. 2.5. Like, the last few matches left a bad taste in people's mouths because of the end results. The results we were hoping and praying we weren't going to see, and unfortunately we did. You know, like, when it comes to the woman ending, like, we all expected Roman to win over Cena. Like, it was like, you know, in WWE terms, it's the white move, because Cena beating Reigns is almost not as credible as Rock beating Cena the first time, because you're trying to push new guys, and, you know, we're not been fair. You know, we're supposed to burst the torch, but we didn't want to see that result. We didn't want to see Roman win, but he did win. The other 2 results, you know what I mean? There was an uncertainty about both these endings happening. You know, those 2 endings of the Cruiserweight title match and the Universal title match were feared. You know, Enzo possibly winning and Lesnar possibly winning were potentials to happen. We're hoping they weren't going to happen. And unfortunately, they happened. Enzo won and Lesnar retained. So, there you go. That's no mercy for you. First half was great. Second half kind of sucked. Kind of the opposite of SummerSlam. The first half sucked. The second half was great. And Lesnar can have a 20-minute match against 4 guys, yet against 1 guy, you can only go 10 minutes. Damn it. Pay-per-view, and then Wyatt at 11, nothing happened after Lesnar won. Nothing shocking happens. Because if WWE wants to do something shocking, they have an opportunity to shock the people. 90% of the time, they fail miserably. They go the predictable route. Do something shocking. Give Strowman the title. No, keep Lesnar the title and have him go up against Reigns at Mania 34. That's what they're probably building towards, sadly. We probably won't see Lesnar for the rest of the year till the Royal Rumble next year. He's not even advertised for TLC. No Survivor Series. So that's why they were hoping to save Cena Reigns, knowing that Lesnar's not going to wrestle the rest of the year. Now, it was for No Mercy after the whole Cena Bumblebee movie situation. So now we got Lesnar, Roman, built for Mania. It's been moving, and guess what? They're building towards it. It's like, what a story. What a year for Reigns. They're building it up. Reigns beat Taker. Reigns beat Cena. And now they're going to build Reigns beating Lesnar because he didn't beat Lesnar and lost Mania 31 because Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank. Unfortunately, that wild card's off the table now. So you only have 1 Money in the Bank match, not 2. And that was already cashed in and failed by Baron Corbin on his own self-burial, for what I've been reading from the dirt sheets. So they're going to build up Roman. He beat Cena, beat Taker, retired Taker, and he's going to beat the Beast, a man he did not defeat at Mania 31, and didn't have a proper rematch. And I hope that doesn't happen, and unfortunately, the seeds are being planted for it with these wins tonight. Roman beating Cena and Lesnar retaining over Strowman. Hopefully they can go the shocking route, but if they go the predictable route, well, Mania 34 might get hijacked again like Mania 30 in New Orleans. Because the original main event of 30, we didn't like it. And our voices were heard. And our guy was inserted. D-Bry. Can we do it again? God only knows. And that is it for my No Mercy review. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, 7.0. I'll give it, even though, hey, the last half was like, yeah. Let's see what SmackDown does. SmackDown's been through a what lately? But Hell in a Cell's got a decent build. KO and Shane's in the cell. And I will be at the Little Caesars Arena for Hell in a Cell. So, it'll be a live report for Hell in a Cell. It's my first pay-per-view for any company, wrestling company, since 2009. So I went to Royal Rumble in 2009 and went to Slammiversary for TNA in 2009. Never been to a pay-per-view since. So now I'm going to pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. Under unique circumstances, because I was supposed to go to an indie wrestling show at XICW, but then I got a last-minute gig, so I wasn't able to go. And then I'm not able to go to a Ring of Honor show in Mount Pleasant, because I'm gigging. So I'm like, I want to see some wrestling. Good consolation. If I can't go to Ring of Honor, if I can't go to XICW, go to Hell in a Cell. It was a last-minute decision. But I'm going and hope it's good. Especially with KO and Shane in the shell. It'll make up for the build of Nakamura in Jinder. So, thank you for watching this review again. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. See you next time. Bye-bye.